I'd have to ask her. And, well, she's taken me out there a few times. My brother lives out there now. And I just got to say, I love the desert. It's a beautiful place to exist. Now I'm going to show you a trick I use to make colors really jump out. Like this pink here, that yellow there. You take a regular color, such as this one is orange. I want orange blossoms. This one's called pumpkin orange. And I'm just going to go lightly with it into what I think a blossom. I'm not sure. I think all the cactuses have different blossoms. But I'm just going to make some petal shapes with a little bit of this will be, and see what I mean about paint? You can just blend it out, need be, and fix it a little, but that is on the wrong one. But this is how we make it pop. First I need just another base color, lightly touch up some other areas. As you can see what I'm doing there. Touch up there, a little bit there, and a little there. I take fluorescent and you add it. You just blend the whole thing together. I always try to stick with the pattern that nature offers. So if there's a petal there, I'll do it that way, then I'll do it that way. Another petal going like this, one like that, one there, and that there. So now it looks like he's kind of holding a fan. And then up here we're going to do the same thing. The little junior guy is going to have same kind of blossoms. And you know, you can just use your imagination. That's pretty much what I do. I know these kind of resemble roses, but you know what? If that kind of fits what you're thinking of making, put it down. The whole idea behind this me drawing stuff again instead of doing my photography is because there's certain things in nature that I couldn't catch. I did a drawing with a sandhill crane with a bunch of Carolina wrens perched on his beak. You'd never see that in nature. So I tried to do it realistically, and now it's hanging in the living room. Good place for it, because I like sandhill cranes and I like Carolina wrens. I'm a big fan of birds in general. They're fun to draw because of the feathers. And being a detail freak, you can really, really have a good time with birds and drawing them and recreating them. That is what we got so far on our cactus, our child saguaro. As you can see, it's kind of an innocent looking face. Now I rarely do this right away. I usually do an entire area, but I'm going to put some darker shadows now over the light. And most of the time, except in high detail areas, I will do the light first and then add detail with dark. But in this case, I started with light first because I really needed the ability to detail. And as you can see, you just kind of you go with the flow. You go with what nature gives you when you're drawing something. You don't, you know, for me to go like this would be crazy. Anybody that knows a saguaro knows that They don't go that way. They got some very big lines. And I mean, granted, if you really want to be a stickler, saguaros don't have faces either, but mine do. And no, I didn't really see this in the desert. I wasn't taking peyote or anything. It just hit me one day when the wife and I were at the Sonoran Desert Museum, a little west of Tulsa, out in the desert, out in the middle of the desert there. And, you know, there's saguaros going all the way to the horizon. You just see these magnificent giant cactus. And you see the ones with the multiple arms, and it's just, they've been there for 100 years? That's not unheard of. You just have to marvel at them. They're just, of course, you don't really want to hug one. You can be a tree hugger without having to hug these, because you won't like the results. Now, I always take a Swiffer to get rid of the extra dust because, well, that'll smear. And as you can see, I kind of broke my policy a little going strictly right to left because I wanted to show off how I do the cactus. One thing, I've still got to go back and do this hat and stuff, so you know what ends up happening, I get my old smear paper Darth so I can get there and not mess up what I've already done. But that in a nutshell is how I do the cactus, each one of these, and I've got probably another 100 or so to do. I mean, we're going to have a few here, and they're going to be all around here. Then they're going to get a little smaller back on this ridge. And then this one, there might just be, you know, a few green lines here and there. Because that's your horizon there. That's the horizon line. And this is a mountain range way off in the distance. And Tucson was beautiful every night of the week. The evening it had a sunset, and the sunset had clouds. So that's what's going to go up there. And we're talking purples, that color pink, that color orange, some purple, I mean grays, orange, it was yellow, just the whole sky was magnificent. And that's what this one's going to get. It's going to get that magnificent sky, and it's going to basically, I haven't titled this yet, and the titles always come to me, you know, I don't hem and haw about a title. It usually just smacks me in the face. And when it comes for this one, it's going to be one of my favorites. Because in case you haven't guessed it already, I'm in love with the desert. And my posts on Facebook, Area 66 at Facebook, I talk about the desert all the time because it's a big inspiration for me. And I'm not going to lie, part of that is because there's no people around. It's an awful thing, but it's true. I mean, people have this tendency of wrecking things, especially things where there's nice things to appreciate. They have a way of wrecking them. Well, fortunately, my love of the desert happens to be a genuine love, and because there's not really much profit you can get from the desert, well, people look at it as an undesirable place. And they can keep thinking that all they want, for all I care. Because as long as it's an undesirable place for most people, that means they're going to stay away from it. And I like that idea. I like that idea a lot because I'm so afraid that it'll get wrecked. Like so many other great things in this country do when we start getting our hands on it for a reason of profit or whatever reason. But I'm not going to get political. Area 66 isn't about that. Area 66 is basically the celebration of creation and my ability to do so with others who want to just appreciate the creation or who want to join in on the fun and create and post on the page. That's what Area 66 is about, and I have yet to have anybody really post their artwork on there. But I'm about, I want to say I'm four followers shy of having 500 followers. Yeah, I'm at like 496 now, and I'm gonna be quite impressed if I make that five. I'm pretty sure I'm gonna make that 500 followers, and when I do, it's gonna be a sense of pride. It's driving me right now. I ordered a professional mat board cutter and some mat board, and I have a chop saw down in the basement. I'm going to save myself a fortune on framing by being able to make my own frames. And I'm going to start going for the jugular this year. I think, well, yeah, I'm turning 60 in August. You'd think I'd decide to do this career earlier on. Well, I wish I had, but I didn't. So I'm not going to sit and cry about it. I'm going to do something about it, and that's what this whole thing is about. Getting this creation, getting this stuff out of my system, and hoping other people appreciate it. Because this is all the stuff I see in dreams, or while I'm daydreaming. I see all these things. And the first thing I want to do is recreate them, so I can show people what I see, what I'm looking at. A lot of the times, words don't create it. Words aren't enough.